the next speaker this morning. The next keynote speaker is Mr. Stanley Rao, who is the chairman of the Champions Group. And Stanley is going to talk about marketing outsourcing, India's next multi-billion dollar growth mantra. May I have the crew up?
Hey, that was a fabulous session from Eric, and I guess what we're going to talk about now is India's next billion-dollar mantra. I know we've seen loads of companies evolve out of India, your TCSs, Infosys, Wipros of the world, who really made it big in the IT outsourcing space. So how's the marketing outsourcing gamut coming along? I guess I'm betting that this is going to be one of the next multi-billion dollar mantra from India, obviously to evolve in the next couple of decades to come. So let's look at what we're going to talk in the next 30 minutes. I think they say the first 10 minutes of any speech, you get undivided attention. The next 10 minutes, you can kind of wander around in the brains. And then the last 10 minutes, to fantasize. So I know for sure you're going to enjoy some part of the speech, right? So let me get going. So we're going to talk about marketing outsourcing, how, what's the potential of it, look at some stats. Talk about the green digital marketing mantra. Obviously, there's a lot of focus on go green. So this is one of those thoughts. And last but not the least, how some of you can spearhead your organizations to be running ahead of this race in this marketing outsourcing growth mantra coming up. So here's some quick stats. Forrester Research identifies almost 3.3 million jobs are going to move to countries like India within the next couple of years. Huge opportunity there. India's outsourcing industry is soaring, already past $76 billion. And if you look at it, IT is the predominant outsourcing industry mix, roughly 28% there. And right after it is marketing and sales. You already know the gamut of HR and finance as well that could be possibly be there. And India will account for almost 44.8% of that outsourcing services mix. So it's a huge opportunity you're sitting on. For every dollar spent on IT, essentially there are $2 to $3 spent on marketing. We all know that. Yeah, companies are far more forthcoming with their marketing budgets than their IT budgets. And if the small IT budget pie when outsourced to India is meaning billions of dollars, marketing outsourcing is essentially going to mean at least a couple of billion dollars in potential. Does it mean India is going to get it all? Does it mean we're going to be as successful as we are in the IT space? Time will tell. I think IT was slightly easier for us to get into because look at the predominant general IT guy out in US. They're already used to seeing a lot of Indians in key positions, so outsourcing to India was an easy proposition. Or on the marketing mix, it's not quite the same. So obviously there are going to be some dimensions at play like that. So looking at, here's a quick survey from Marketing Sherpa. It talked about the fact that almost 35% of the marketers worldwide are already looking at possibly outsourcing or already outsourced. Around 15-20% of them are already in that mix of things. So I guess this momentum has already started, ranging from a wide thought, content outsourcing, search engine optimization, social media related strategy, planning, the whole gamut. Eric talked about it. So here's the quick skinny on where we're at. If you look at it, the advertising piece is where around 191 billion is being spent. Institutional spending and consumer spending is the other bit. But the one I'm going to talk about today is this. Marketing services. This is where really India can tap into. I think companies out of India can make a significant killing by focusing all their services, particularly those who are in the marketing services space. We've been fortunate as an organization. We were front runners in creating this marketing outsourcing phenomenon. We've literally grown as a group from less than a couple of hundred people 5 years ago to almost a 1,500 people team over the last 5 years. So it's been a phenomenal growth rate. Having said that, there's still opportunity for loads more of companies to join the bandwagon, I guess. So net, if you look at the traditional marketing pie, obviously you're looking at lead generation to website development to SEO to PPC to your traditional social media, the whole gamut, but typically involving multiple partners. And what does multiple partners bring to the table? Obviously, multiple partners means you're needing to go through this drill of passing the internal enterprise details, internal know-how to multiple vendors over a period of time. And that's a pain. What happens now if you have one vendor, one relationship, one bill, and one company which can actually coordinate this whole bit? Hopefully do a bunch of it in-house, bring in the right players to handle this bit. I think that's the opportunity we're talking about from a marketing outsourcing standpoint. If you look at India, where does it stand? I think attractiveness-wise, infrastructure-wise, all of it is definitely high. And so the people, quality, cost, skills, all of that. So it makes a significant opportunity in the waiting for India to pick up. What are the various pieces in the puzzle? I was actually looking at what are the possibilities that India could be working on, and I came up with all these bits of social media, data to start with. That's the heart of enterprise. SEO, PPC, email campaigns, telemarketing, link building, blogs, content writing, lead generation. You've heard of all of this bit. There's obviously this entire gamut of things, lead nurturing to trade shows, event marketing, all of that comprises your marketing bit. How much of that can be outsourced, how much of that can be supported is really marketing outsourcing for every company. I won't say it's for every company, because it's really for companies which are innovative, which are really wanting to move on a fast growth track, because they have their own product that they need to be innovative in. First they have to focus on that bit. If they're trying to be innovative in marketing, if they're trying to be innovative in their product end, they're really going to lose focus. So that's where a marketing outsourcing partner makes a lot of sense. And then, if you look at the traditional company, will they really be able to focus on it? I think I have a rule to figure out whether you're an innovative company or not. I call it the 1/3 rule proposition. 1/3 rule as in, are you making 1/3 of your revenue from sources that didn't exist 2 years ago? How many of you can answer that question with your hand up? Meaning, is your organization making 1/3 of your revenue from sources that didn't exist 2 years ago for your organization? Can I take a quick poll? Can I see how many of you are able to lift your hand up?